Welcome, Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier. Guys, we've got a great show for you here today. I would tell you what episode it is, but I've lost count, Coach.
We've been doing this.
We've been doing this, and I tell you what is surprising and what's the best part about this show is that we've had 9 shows now, and one of them's been on time. So we show up fashionably late every week, just for you guys. And you got you guys sitting here looking around like, when are these guys coming on today? Yep, no, we tricked you. We're here. All right. First up, we've got Pick'em recap. Okay, so let's run through these games very quickly. Start with girls basketball. We had Pike Central at Prestonsburg. Pigburg took it 60-52. Paintsville at Betsy Lane. Paintsville took it 62-48. Breathitt County at Floyd Central. Breathitt took it 58-53. Any shock in those 3 games real quick?
No, I don't think that there's a shock at all in those 3 games right there. Those are the things that I had thinking, and I think that was going to go the way it did.
Okay, moving on, we've got Corbin in the WYMT against Perry Central. Corbin took it 80-42. Jackson County and Knott County in the WYMT. Jackson took it 73-65. And then Phelps at Jenkins girls. Phelps took it 68-37. Any shock in those 3 games?
That Phelps-Jenkins game, I think that Jenkins, I thought that they was going to play a whole lot better than what they did.
I definitely thought it was going to be closer myself, too.
Especially with the experience on that team.
Yeah, because they're an older team. They're not the younger team.
But congratulations to the Phelps Lady Hornets. I mean, they're doing an amazing job.
Listen, Coach McCoy does a great job, man. He's one of my good friends, and I respect him, and I know good things are to come with that girls program with him there.
Such a young program, absolutely.
Moving on, let's run through these last 4 of the girls. Harlan Independent at Letcher Central. Letcher took it 74-67. Floyd Central at Prestonsburg. Floyd took it 67-50. Phelps at Pike Central. Pike Central took it 75-39. And then Letcher and Boyd got them 66-34. And if I recall right, you and Big E took Letcher. Listen, I told you, if Boyd's like anything like their football team, man, better watch out, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. This girls team that LCC has, I feel like they're going to bounce back later on in the season. Right now, it's just a learning experience for them.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got boys basketball. Letcher Central against Harlan County in the WYMT. Harlan beat them 73-36. You got beat on that pick. Any shock there?
No, not a shock at all, actually. I wanted to change my pick a million times last week, but you know how hard-headed him and Big E are. They're not going to let me have my pick back after I mess up and misread a name. So it is what it is. But, yeah, I knew that.
Martin County and Knott County. Martin took it 54-48. No shock there. Harlan Independent and Perry County. Perry took it 89-58. And then Clay County and Floyd Central. Floyd took it 60-58. Yep. Any shock in those WYMT games?
No, I don't think there's a shock at all.
Moving on, we had Shelby Valley at Betsy Lane. Valley took it 63-61 in a close one. Yep. Belfry at Jenkins. Belfry took it 85-61. McGoffin at Letcher. McGoffin took it 75-63. Shelby Valley at Johnson. Valley took it 60-57. Betsy Lane at Lawrence. Lawrence took it 65-58. Any shock in those games?
No, actually, I do have one shock. With Valley, the way they played at the beginning of the season to come in and beat Johnson Central,
especially on the road on a Saturday game.
That kind of shocks me a little bit. Considering that Valley lost a lot of key players coming into this season.
And Russ Osborne's opted not to play, and he probably would have been their top player this year.
I guess he's just focusing more on football.
Listen, Coach McCoy's a great dude. He's going to keep those guys rolling. There's no doubt in my mind that he won't be competitive throughout all season. Real quick, our record: Sammy's sitting at 17-21. I'm sitting at 23-15. Big E's sitting at 19-19. So, guys, listen. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Phelps Hornet, Tyler Weddington here. We're going to ask him some questions. We're going to dive deep into it. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, he'll be here.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. continuing that tradition today. And we always will be for generations to come.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier. We've got Mr. Phelps Hornet Big Man, Tyler Weddington here. Thanks for being here, Tyler. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to dive into this, and this is kind of I guess this probably could be your toughest question that I've got for you. Last year you was an 8th grader at Belfry, and you were a force. Man, I got to watch you in this gym play 2 games, and there was no, I don't know that there was a big man around in Eastern Kentucky that could guard you, okay? I've always been great on your game, man. But, this summer you decided to transfer to Phelps from Belfry. So talk a little bit about what went into that decision and why you chose Phelps to be the high school that you wanted to go to.
A big reason I moved to Phelps is because it's the closest school to where I live, and my sister moved there her freshman year, and she's still there, and she's doing good. So it's really the main reason.
Well, that's good, man. And plus, you got a great coach in Coach Cameron Smith, who's going to be on here with us too. So, and then you got really good teammates. You guys are looking great this season. Under new head coach Cameron Smith, you guys seem to be doing well. We know that you guys are picked up a huge win again over at Elliott County. I think you had 22 points and 20 rebounds. Does that sound right? Yes. Talk a little bit about that game and how it felt to win your home opener.
It felt good. Fashion. I mean, it was a tough game.
Yeah.
I believe it went into overtime. I couldn't have done it without my teammates,
Most definitely. And you also, you had a big game against Mingo too. Yeah. You had 32 points, 19 rebounds. So you're eating up those boards, and you're just tough to guard. I got to talk to some of the Jenkins players here, and they was just like, man, that big man from Phelps, poor Aiden Hayes. He said, God, I was beat to death after that game. He's like, G.O. So yeah, you're doing great this season.
We might be starting to call him Mr. 2020 with his 20 rebound, 20 point performance.
At this point, you're averaging it, right? Right? Yeah.
2020 vision, baby.
Doing great.
Got a nickname for him.
This is my last question for you, and then I know my questions are a little bit harder than Coach Sam's. Everyone, when you look at the schedule every year, there's that one team that you circle. Like, I know as a coach even, you look at that and you're like, God, this is one team that I want to beat, I want to win. Who is that one team and why?
Probably Belfry. I mean, I used to go there, and now I want to beat them.
Most definitely, man. That's a good team to circle. Plus, you probably still have some former teammates there too, right? Yeah. So it'd be good to rub it in their face, bragging rights, right? Okay, I'm gonna hand you off to Coach Sam, and he'll take care of you here.
Tell me, who's your favorite college basketball team? And tell me a little bit about why they are.
Probably UK, and I mean, grew up watching them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. It's family tradition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want to like the best team in the state, Out of your years in basketball, what player would you say that was the toughest guard you've had to defend, and why?
Probably Nick Knox over there.
Oh, wow. Teammate. Yeah, he's tough, ain't he?
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, man. Look, you heard it from him. Teammate, Nick Knox. And here's my last one. I love this question, and I can't wait to hear this. With the way that you play, what player would you say you play like, or you kind of resemble?
Probably Nikola Jokic.
Okay, I love that.
I like that
answer.
I
love that.
That's a first.
I was actually hoping he would say that.
Really?
Because, yeah, that was on the top of my mind. I love that answer. I love that.
Well, man, hey, we appreciate you being here, Tyler. Thank you for coming on, answering these questions. Guys, when we come back, we'll have another Phelps Hornet here to talk with you, Nick Knox. So we'll be back right here in just a second.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout Eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, and we have another Phelps Hornet here, Mr. Nick Knox. Nick, thanks for being here. We appreciate you, my guy.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to start you off with a tough one, too. So we all know last season you played at West Virginia, right?
Yeah.
But over the summer you decided to transfer to Phelps and over into Kentucky. What made you want to transfer to Phelps? And, talk a little bit about the difference between playing in the two states.
It really wasn't really a difference, but as most people know, I played at a Christian school, right? So I came over here just to try to get noticed because a really Christian school, I mean, that's an amazing group that I played with last year. Don't get me wrong, but I just trying to get noticed, trying to play college ball. That's the main reason why.
Try to get more recognition.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Looking at this season, you're under new head coach Cameron Smith. You guys seem to be doing well.
Yeah.
We know you started the season off with a huge win over a well-rounded Jenkins team. I think you finished with 36 points, 7 rebounds. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that game and how it felt to win the first game of the season on the road.
Ooh, it felt amazing. I was just hitting left and right. I don't know. I just felt good coming into that game. I was hyped, and it just felt really good. So.
Well, I was wondering why he walked back in the gym today with a smile on his face. He's like, man, I dropped 36 here.
Yeah,
Give me 30 more. Give me 30 more. And then I'm going to ask you this question before I hand you off to Coach Sam over there. It's kind of the same question I asked Tyler a few minutes ago. Everybody looks at the schedule from top to bottom. If there's one team that you can circle and that you want to beat no matter what, they got to take me off the court on a stretcher before I lose to this team, who is it?
Well, Belfry, because one, it's important to our teammates and it's important to our coach. So I'm going to try to do whatever it takes to help my team win and make them better for that game.
Well, that's a good answer, man. Hey, listen, Belfry, the Phelps Hornets is coming after you. They're calling you right now. They're coming. Coach Sammy, I'm going to hand you off over to him. He's got some fun questions.
I'm going to ask you something a little different this time, from your teammate a minute ago. What's your favorite NBA team that you would say? And tell me a little bit about why that's your favorite team.
The Lakers. We just won the in-season tournament last night.
Last night, yeah.
Feels good. Main reason I like the Lakers is because Kobe.
Yeah.
I love him. His work ethic and listening to his motivational speeches gives me hype, ready to go run through a wall or something like that.
Absolutely,
So that's the main reason I like the Lakers.
Yeah, Black Mamba, one of the greats, one of the greatest of all time. One of my favorite players of all time. I love that answer.
Yeah.
Out of your years in playing basketball, what player would you say was toughest you've had to defend? And tell me a little bit about why on that.
Wesley Christian's guard, Jalen Spencer.
Okay.
He was physical, tough, can get to the rim easy, jump out of the gym.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, he almost had a boom on my head.
Uh-oh. We ain't letting that happen, no more.
Nah.
We're gonna step out of the way.
Yeah, I say Wesley Christian, Jalen Spencer.
All right, yeah,
Sure.
that's a good answer. I like that. And tell me, what's your favorite ball shoes to play in?
Kyrie's.
Yeah, the 1 through
Kyrie's.
the 4s I think were amazing. I never really got past that, but the 1 through 4s I know for a fact were amazing.
Yeah, Kyrie's.
You gonna try to get on his new signature line? He's not with Nike no more.
No, I'm not switching over.
Nike all day, baby.
I'm not switching over, yeah.
You see the check over here,
I'm
Nike,
not
baby.
switching over. I can't.
I don't blame you, man. Tell me a little bit about what motivates you before a game to come in and, drop 36 points like you did against Jenkins. Who was you listening to? What was you doing? Was you watching one of the motivational speeches? Were you getting hype with some headphones, trying to listen to some music? What was you doing?
I was getting hyped with some headphones, most
Okay.
definitely. I was listening to Young Boy.
Yeah, okay.
It's crazy when you go out and listen to Young Boy.
Yeah, man. Black Air Force energy, right?
Yeah. And then I listen to just a little bit of motivational speech before I come out. So
There you go.
I think that makes me play well.
Absolutely.
And it makes me want to run through a wall.
There you
and
go.
Do whatever it takes to win. So
Absolutely. I like that. I like that answer a lot. And last but not least, this is probably my favorite question to ask any player that we get because I love hearing the different players I get out of them. With the way that you play, what player would you say you play like or resemble?
I got two.
Okay,
I got
two.
two.
You got a mix of them.
Yeah. I try to mimic D-Book's game.
Okay.
I try to, because with the pull-up jumper, like,
Yep.
I probably say I take a pull-up jumper every game.
And he's got one of the deadliest pull-up jumpers in the game right
Oh,
now.
yeah, for sure. Kyrie, I think I mimic Kyrie a little bit, just the way how my crossover is.
Yeah, got
and
that fast handle.
Yeah, and to get there and then do the pull-up jumper, that's why I said. I
Okay,
kinda
yeah,
mimic
we love
D-Book,
that.
so.
Maybe even Allen Iverson in there,
Yeah.
with the crossover jumper mixed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I love those answers from y'all tonight. I love that.
Yeah, great.
I heard those players. Not heard those players on this yet, so I love that.
That's a great answer. Well, Nick, man, we appreciate you being here with us and coming on and talking a little bit. Hopefully we can get you and Tyler and Coach back on later on and get you guys more towards the end of the year. So, guys, when we come back, we're going to have head coach Cameron Smith here, the Phelps Hornets. And listen, we took it easy on the players. We're putting Coach Smith on the spot here on Coach's Corner, and you're not going to want to miss this. We'll be back in just a second.
MGC Supply is your complete source for drainage and erosion control products. MGC Supply also sells services and installs Cummings generators. MGC Supply sells and delivers limestone gravel for businesses and homeowners. MGC Supply is your solution supplier and is proud to sponsor all the teams in Eastern Kentucky. 2590 U.S. Highway 23 South Pottville, Kentucky, 41501. Give them a call today at 606-433-0077. Or you can call them at 606-794-6765.
Welcome back. Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, special guest, Coach Cameron Smith. Man, I appreciate you being on here and bringing your guys. It's been great so far.
Excited to be here, guys. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Well, let's dive into this. So, as far as I can tell, you spent some time at Mate 1 West Virginia Middle as their head coach, and then you was hired at Phelps before now, and then you left to go be an assistant at Logan. This summer, you decided to make your way back to Phelps as the head coach again. What went into that decision, and why is Phelps a place for you?
Well, it's a place for me because, one, it's my hometown, and it's just special. It's a special place when people come together at our hometown, in our community, man. It's just special. It's unlike anywhere else. It really is.
Absolutely.
Everywhere that I've been, I've had fun. I've enjoyed it, but there's always that little itch to, when you're winning, you want to be able to do it at your home in front of your people, and give back to the kids that are there. So that's why I wanted to come back and do it again. First time that I did this, it didn't really go the way that I hoped. So I had definitely had some unfinished business. I didn't really know that the opportunity was going to come up. So when it did, it was just something that I definitely thought about the unfinished business part of it and how I shouldn't have went out the way that I did. Mm-hmm. So anytime that you get an opportunity to fix your own mistakes, you're blessed. So it's a great opportunity.
Second chances are amazing, right?
Yes, they absolutely are. Yes.
Most definitely.
Thank God for them.
With this being your first year back with the Hornets, talk a little bit about your staff members and what your goals and expectations are for them, and what their roles are on your staff throughout this season going forward.
Two of my guys are guys that have been my best friends my whole life.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, probably my best friend that I've ever had in my entire life, Justin Mayhorn. Mm-hmm. He's one of our assistant coaches. Matt Lane, he's a new guy with us too. He actually changed his entire career path. He was a coal miner, and to get this opportunity, he got his 4-year degree. And now he's in the MAC program. He's teaching at our school.
Wow, that's awesome.
So those two guys, what they're sacrificing, it shows you that it's important to them. So you got those two. I got a former player, Davon Smith. He's a young guy, first time coaching, and I got Coach Tyler Weddington's dad. We just have a really tight-knit coaching staff. I trust all of them. I like every single one of them. That's huge to be able to have help and to trust who you got. Yep. You guys know just as well as I do that there's not always a lot of help involved in this. So
No, it's not right.
and I'm not the kind of guy that says I want to do it all myself. I want to do it all myself. I want people to want to help. I want their involvement, their
And
input.
point out the things you don't see too. You know.
Yes, man. It's just in the flow of a game, the head coach position, you're looking at different things
Right.
that those guys aren't looking at. So having them be able to talk to me about what they see is big, and telling them that that's their job. Like I want them to be comfortable doing
Absolutely.
that. But yeah, they do a little bit of everything. Matt's kind of the king of the weight room for us. We redid our entire weight room over the summer. It did a 9-10 week weightlifting program, and these kids just took off, man. They were there every day, got bigger, stronger, faster. But yeah, there's plenty of help to go around. We do a little bit of everything.
That's
I
awesome.
make the Gatorade though.
There you go. Yeah, before I get into this next question, me and Coach Ethen can kind of relate to, the beginning of your answer whenever you said your coach was your best friend. This is coming from 2 kids in the 2nd grade.
Yeah, most definitely.
Here, coaching together. And that's a great thing to have.
Having guys like that you know and trust, and they know you, and they're comfortable with saying things to you. That goes a long way.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about your freshman big man, Tyler Weddington, that we just had on a couple minutes ago in our interview. We've got to see him play a lot, and he's tough to guard around the rim. And,
I wouldn't want to have to do it, would you?
No, I definitely
not
don't
at
want to
all.
have to deal with that. Speak a little bit on his game and what kind of impact and leadership he brings to this young group that you have.
He's never rattled. I think I attribute that to his dad, because his dad's never rattled. During the game, you see us. If another team calls a timeout, we're just so energetic, ready to go. I'm about to jump through the roof, and Coach Kyle is just cool, man. He's never rattled, even when something's going bad. Neither one of them, they never rattle. Tyler has great composure. He's so mature for his age. It doesn't feel like he's a freshman. It feels like he should be a senior or one of these super seniors that's been held back 28 times.
But you're glad he's a freshman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, man, the thing that I really love is that he never gets rattled. He's easy to coach. He listens. He doesn't take coaching personal. Those things it's hard for a high school age kid to do all those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does it. But yeah, man, the offensive game is just, it's next level. It's beautiful. It's awesome.
Now, I wish that I could pull this video up and put it on the screen for everybody, but I was scrolling a couple days ago, and I guess one of your parents had posted a video of you getting hyped here, during the game. I can't remember if it was with Nick or it was with somebody, and they was like, "Look at this energy," and I was like, "I love that energy."
Man,
like I can just tell that like your motor don't stop in no game. It don't matter. Like you're always going.
That makes your boys play 10 times better for you too whenever you're out there. I see it from Coach Ethen. Whenever he's in the game, they're in the game. When he's not in the game, it's like the team just dies down a little bit. You don't want them to do that.
There's just something euphoric about teaching them what to do, and then when you see it happen, they're doing it without you having to do it for them.
Yeah.
And then seeing another team call a timeout because they're doing it so well, it just sends me to La La Land, man. I love it.
Absolutely. Cloud 9.
Looking at this week, your upcoming games. You've got a very good Prestonsburg team, coached by Chase Parsley, and you don't play Logan, but you go to Logan Saturday to play in the classic that they have.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about how you guys are preparing for these games and what it would mean for you to go back to Logan's gym and pick up a win.
Well, start with Prestonsburg. They're a really, really good team. That's going to be it's going to be a heck of a game. We got to get up for that and really be motivated to play. I've every top 10 thing that I've voted for during the preseason, I put Braxton Kigley in my top 10. Every one of them. I just really admire how hard he works. The kid is always doing something. His dad's always got the videos out, but the kid just works himself to death. And I'll tell you, a player that he doesn't get much publicity on that team, but I'm so impressed, is Estridge.
Yeah.
He plays so hard. The energy that he brought, I love the energy that he had late in that Letcher County game. I've watched that game twice to prepare for this, and yeah, I think he's a game changer with his energy and his effort. So yeah, we've got to be prepared. We got to match that intensity because they're intense, man. Coach Parsley's a great coach, and he's a lot like me. He wants to win every single thing he does. You can tell the way he gets excited like that on the sideline too. Logan, being able to go back there Saturday and playing on the court again at the field house, I think, me personally, I think that the Logan Fieldhouse Willie Akers Arena is the best high school gym in this area. Man, it's just got some kind of little mystique to it. Right. I had an amazing experience there for a year. It was definitely it was a difficult decision to not go back, but when this position came open, I knew that I wanted it.
Absolutely.
Going back, being able to play there and hopefully get a win, it'll be great. I really love those people. They were great to me. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome experience. I'm looking forward to it. Really.
And I find it intriguing that you said that about their gym. I've never been, so I've not seen their gym. So I'll definitely have to check it out.
It's unbelievable. It's just when you walk in, you see the 7 state championship banners, and it's just.
Oh yeah, man.
It's just it really.
That hits you as soon as you see that.
It's just that place, like it's kind of like. I don't know. I don't get the mystique of Rupp Arena. I've been there several times, and it doesn't feel like a mystique place. So I would compare it to something like Kansas Fog. So yeah, it's got a great feel to it. I loved it.
Absolutely. Who would you consider to be your leaders on this team? And what have been some of your expectations for these leaders in this season so far?
Vocal leaders. My vocal captain, my team captain is Owen Sullivan. He's got a great voice, man. He just says what needs to be said. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He's just not afraid to say what needs to be said.
Well, you need that, man, to keep your other players in check and get them to do the things that they're doing wrong to fix them.
Exactly. Me and him have a lot of we've had tons of conversations over the last 6 months that we've been working together. So I trust him to tell me what needs to be said. He's not afraid to tell me what needs to be said. Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely my vocal leader.
Absolutely.
Okay. Looking at your coaching history, like we've talked, you spent some time in West Virginia.
Been a little bit everywhere.
You're back a little bit everywhere. Talk a little about the difference in coaching in West Virginia and coaching in Kentucky.
Biggest differences coaching in West Virginia and Kentucky. I would say that the biggest difference is I just feel like the atmosphere in West Virginia is every single away game is important to where you're going. Like the fans are just next level. Wow, they really are. I feel like sometimes in Kentucky we'll go somewhere and play and it just doesn't have a good feel to it. Like it's just not that crazy environment. But I'm telling you guys, if you've never played a game at like West Side or we played Mingo at home the other night and it was like an away game. That place, our gym was a zoo. Mingo's fans are wild. Tuck Valley, Logan's. It's just, I would definitely say the fan support on the road in West Virginia is just nuts. It's next level. It makes it fun.
Most definitely. Every coach, I can speak for myself, but I think every coach wants that atmosphere.
Yes, absolutely.
The game flows better. Your coaching is better.
The boys, they got something to play for whenever they're playing in front of a crowd like that.
Yeah.
Compared to, like you said, going to a place here in Kentucky where there's only like maybe 10, 15 fans in the crowd.
Yes.
And it's just so silent. It's like they're just playing pickup ball.
Yeah, it's kind of like being at a sad funeral or something. Some places you go to,
yeah,
most
absolutely.
definitely. Well, guys, listen. Stick around. When we come back, we've got more questions for Coach Cameron Smith. And listen, if you're at home and you're watching this and you want to ask Coach Smith a question, put it in the comments. We'll put him on the spot and make him answer. We'll be back with you in just a second.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, special guest, Coach Cameron Smith. Once again, thanks for being here with us, Coach. We greatly appreciate you. Coach, you want to start off this?
Yes, absolutely. You have a young team, and you return the majority of your team for the next couple seasons. Talk about what it means for this program to keep these guys to be playing in the same system for so many years to come, and how will that benefit this program in the near future?
It's, well, you get to work on different things now that we've established our system, what we want to do, and our culture and the foundation of things. So in the future, you get to work on more advanced things. You don't have to back up and reteach and recoach what you've already done.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a great situation. I've never really had that kind of opportunity. It's definitely a good one to inherit.
Yep.
So I think as a coach, you do look ahead sometimes down the road. So I've definitely done that and thought, man, the things that we can get done after the season and things like that take the next step. It's definitely a good situation.
Yeah.
Well, looking at it, talking about some young players, let's talk about you, Mr. Point Guard himself, Mr. Ethen Fields, for a minute. Ethen runs the offense for you, along with Nick Knox, who does a lot of the scoring. Talk about Ethen and Nick's work ethic and how much they have improved this season, how much they contribute to the team.
His ability to pay attention to detail is really good. When he pays attention to detail and listens to what I want him to do, man, he's that extra spark that we need. I mean, these two guys over here, they score at will, but a lot of times you have to have five. So he really can be super important to what we're doing, to our success. He's just a very intelligent kid as far as knowing the game, understanding that he really understands what to do, and he's great with remembering offense, putting people in the spots, things like that. Yeah, he does a great job of it.
Most definitely.
Definitely need that in a point.
His and I will tell you this: his defensive energy and effort is the best on our. He's definitely given them the best effort defensively on our team right now. He is.
I bet that's what motivates your boys to do as good as they do too, seeing that out there on the court.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and this is something me and you talked a little bit about before we got on air, is I think that this year, you know, I haven't got to watch a full game of you guys play, but I think this year you guys have the team to beat a Belfry. Right, and get to the district, and that's the ultimate goal, is to get to the district championship game, right? So talk a little bit about what it's going to take throughout this year for you guys to reach that point, and talk a little bit about the new super region that come into effect this year.
Well, in order to win these types of games that we have as goals, we have to put it together on both ends of the court. Right now, we can score 70 points on anybody, but right now we're in a position where we're kind of giving up almost the same. So to take that next step, to be able to keep winning these games and to get to where we want to go, we have to understand the importance of playing defense and playing it urgently. Just sitting back and waiting for something to happen, you're going to get scored on. Yeah. So understanding the urgency and importance of defense is what we got to do next in order to win these games against Belfry, against Prestonsburg, teams like that, for sure.
What's your thoughts on the new super region?
Super region?
Yeah.
Not really a fan, I'm not going to lie to you. Not a huge fan of it. I'm just the kind of guy that if it's not broke, don't fix it. I thought we had the most beautiful postseason set up in probably the USA. Regular district. The district tournament means everything when it's set up. Yeah, absolutely. So now it kind of takes a little importance out of it. It doesn't mean as much, but yeah, man, I'm just
if
it's not broke, don't fix it.
It's essentially like, why is their district? Yes. If everybody makes region,
right?
You know. I get what you're saying. I've had some mixed opinions on it, but I some days I like it, some days I'm like, but
Yeah.
I just
I don't think
Overall, I
it'll
feel like-
it'll stay. I think
See, that's the thing. Overall, I look at it as more of like a college format than a high school format.
Yeah.
The way that it is in. You know, I'm like Ethan. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I like it because like these underdog teams, you know, you always see an upset, right?
Yeah.
They've got another chance to be able to, you know, go out there and show people that they can still compete after not having good seasons.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we talked a little bit about Nick Knox and Tyler Weddington and, you know, Mr. Point Guard himself, Ethan Fields. Let's talk a little bit about Reese Norman, Gavin Hamilton, Dylan Fields, and your vocal leader, Owen Sullivan. Speak on these players a little bit and their improvements that you've seen them make throughout this season so far.
They every single one of them that you mentioned have came light years from where they were when we first got back together in late April, early May when I came back with the position. All of those kids that you mentioned, they killed it in the weight room. They killed it all summer. They've done what it takes to win.
Yeah.
Now, in order to get to the next step, it's going back to paying attention to detail, listening to things like the scouting report, taking that serious and executing your game plan, and understanding that we're putting you in a position to win a game if you do these things that it takes to win. So Reese has I think Reese has probably the prettiest jump shot on our team.
Okay.
He's coming along. He had a few bad games. Probably some confidence issues. He has it, man. He can really score. He really can. Love his shot. Gavin is he's probably the smartest kid we got. It's tough against Mingo. We played 36 minutes. I think Gavin was in the game for 35 minutes.
Wow.
Because I trusted him so much defensively
Yeah.
that I had to have him out there. It was a dogfight. When I showed him on film a few days ago, he's begging to come out of the game. He's so tired.
Yeah.
So
You couldn't do it, though.
I couldn't do it. I had to have him defensively and just taking command of what's going on defensively. He was there. So I really love his defensive abilities, his effort. Owen has it too, man. He's like 6'4". You guys saw Owen?
I did not know he was that
he's
tall.
got the build for a great basketball player.
Yeah.
He's just it's a little confidence. He's not experienced yet, but he'll get there. He improved over the off season, got a lot stronger. But yeah, they all have good defined roles on our team. They really do.
Awesome.
Ethan Wolford has been coming up huge for us lately. Pays attention to detail. He gives us everything that he possibly can when he's in the game for as long as he can. Dylan Fields is an 8th grader, man, and he has no fear. Nothing. He is fearless. Absolutely fearless.
That's what you want, somebody playing up like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, to be up there with the big dogs, not being in middle school no more. You know.
I think did I mention all?
Yeah, you
did I
mentioned
cover
it.
every one of them?
you
Yeah,
go.
you even
You
mentioned
go.
a couple more. You know, we love that though, Coach. We want you to ramble on about the players. That's what you're here for.
Well, they deserve the recognition. and
Absolutely.
the-
You know, you mentioned, you know, them working out so much. I mean, physicality is a big thing in high school ball. You know, a lot of kids that come up into the high school basketball, they don't understand that. And then they get a wake-up call really fast.
they do.
So that's a big thing for them to, already be prepared for the season going in forward to be
Yes,
so strong
absolutely.
and physical.
Yes.
That's a good thing. What would you consider to be a successful season for you as a coach in your program this season?
Well, we want to. The team goals was we wanted to start out 1-0, and we've done that. But as the season goes, you kind of things start changing. You see some success. We want to keep winning. We want to make our community proud. Represent our school well. We want to be able to play in these games that you're talking about Tuesday night. We want to compete in those games, and we want to freaking win them. We don't want to just compete. We want to come out and say, "Wow, look what we're doing already."
Yeah.
And obviously, the next goal that we have, we want to be in the district championship. We want to give ourselves an opportunity to win that 7th one for our school. Put a banner up. So we got
banner season.
Our next goal, the team we're chasing right now, we're chasing both our district rivals, but the one we play first and the one that's first on the schedule is Belfry. So that's who we're talking about.
I'm sure
That's who we're talking about every day. We talk about them every single day.
I'm sure when you guys play Belfry, that gym will be rocking.
Oh,
It will.
yeah.
It will be.
yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to be there at that game with that atmosphere for this season.
What's the date on that game?
The first time we play them, it's at Belfry. I think it's it's January 16th.
January 16th. He knows. He's already. That's the
We
one
might have
coach
to
is
check-
circling.
We might have to check our schedule and see if we can't slip on down through there.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Coach, I've got one more for you, and I know you guys have a long trip. And once again, man, I appreciate you guys coming over. It's always great to have the Hornets on. There's been a rule change this year. You know, essentially it got rid of the 1-on-1. It's the 5 fouls. The fouls reset each quarter.
Kinda crazy.
It's crazy.
Another broke. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
I can agree with you.
Well,
on this.
that's what I was getting ready to ask you. What's your take on the rule change, and how has it affected you and your team this far this season?
I really didn't give it much thought until it happened here at Jenkins, and I was like, "There's got to be some strategy put into this now. Like, you really have to consider things." I kind of wanted to wait and see with our press when we played Jenkins here, but you got to do it early because those fouls add up. Those fouls accumulate.
Yes, they do.
So it's changed the way that I think defensively for sure.
And another thing is, when it's a close game at the the last few minutes of a game and both teams are in foul trouble, it'll end up being whoever makes their free throws,
Absolutely, yes.
And that's tough, if one team's not a very good free throw shooting team and the other one is.
Yeah,
it's something you really got to get your boys prepared for.
Yeah.
Moving forward,
Well, Coach, man, that's all we got, and we don't have any in the comments. So we appreciate you being here, man, and we appreciate you bringing on a couple of your players. Hopefully, as the season goes on, we can get you back on here again, and maybe after a district game or something to talk to you guys again, guys. Coach Cameron Smith and the Phelps Hornets, we appreciate them being here. When we come back, we've got hot takes. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, Cameron Smith. We'll catch you in a minute.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the bourbon pecan coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Burgee, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones.
MGC Supply is your complete source for drainage and erosion control products. MGC Supply also sells services and installs Cummings generators. MGC Supply sells and delivers limestone gravel for businesses and homeowners. MGC Supply is your solution supplier and is proud to sponsor all the teams in Eastern Kentucky. 2590 U.S. Highway 23 South Pottville, Kentucky, 41501. Give them a call today at 606-433-0077. Or you can call them at 606-794-6765.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. I'm Ethen Cummings. This is Sam Collier here, and so here's the funny thing. I'm going to give you guys a little background on what happened this week. So, Big E is in New York. We told you guys that last week on the show. He went with the LCC's drama team to New York, so that's where he is at. And then we were supposed to have Coach Winston Lee on to be our third chair at first. Well, then he has decided to go to Cincinnati to the Bengals game, so we couldn't fault him for that. So then Coach Whitaker decided that we asked him, and then he decided to come on for the show. And then he actually had a family member get sick and had to take him to UK hospital this morning, and he's currently on his way back and just wasn't able to make it in time. So let's pray that his family member stays in good health and that he has a safe trip back home. But now you're just stuck with me, Coach Sam, and then Dusty can scream from the background with doing all the producing if he wants to get.
He can chime in if he wants. We're gonna give him the green light.
So now we're on our segment of hot takes, and this is where it gets heated. This is where it goes. Listen, first up we've got the DirecTV Holiday Bowl coming up, USC versus Louisville. But now let me give you a little background on this. USC has their three top offensive weapons sitting out. Who you got on this game?
Listen, I got USC still. I don't care that they got their three weapons out. After seeing the way Louisville played against Florida State in that ACC championship, they're not winning another game this season. That's it. That was done. When Kentucky beat them, it killed their season. They're over with, man. And, I just don't see them beating this USC team. I don't care how good that their defense is. I don't think Louisville's offense is going to compare. I really don't think that they're there no more.
Most definitely. I think that I see where you're coming from. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Louisville wins. And I tell you why. For one, USC is going in with a quarterback who hasn't took any snaps in the game all year.
You're not wrong.
And then for two, you're looking at the leading rusher on the team is going to be sitting out, the leading receiver on the team. So essentially, you're going to have a new offense for USC that hasn't touched the field with new weapons. And granted, I still think they're competitive, but USC's defense hasn't been that great. I mean, they're 7-5. I really think Lincoln Riley is regretting his decision to go to USC when he could have just stayed at Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm going to take Louisville in a close game there because Louisville, as far as I know, the only player that and he hasn't opted out. He's just injured, and he's day-to-day is Jawar Jordan. So, but Louisville, outside of that, Louisville has nobody opting out, and they've been together all year. They've went through the trenches, man, and they've took some bumps, and for the most part, they've looked very successful this season, especially to be under first year head coach Jeff Brom. So I'm going to take Louisville. He gets his first bowl win, and he gets on the recruiting trail in the transfer portal, and he gets ready for next season. Moving on, we've got the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Clemson 8-4 versus Kentucky 7-5. Who do you got and why?
Well, as you know, Ray Davis isn't going to be playing in this game. He's our leading back. He opted to go into the NFL draft. Kudos to him. He should. You know, obviously he was a top 3 running back in college football this year. Let's not cut the cheese. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know where I'm at with this, considering that he isn't going to be playing and he makes a lot of our playmaking for us in receiving and running. Clemson's got a good team.
Yeah.
You know, they're not a pushover. And I just don't know how I feel about our quarterback play right now. If we can hit our receivers and do what I know that our team can do, Kentucky wins. But
There isn't any ifs. Is it Kentucky or Clemson? Take your pick.
I'm going to go Kentucky in a very, very close matchup. I think that they're going to keep it within the 20s.
Listen, I think it's going to be a close game. When I say close, 1 to 2 touchdown game. I don't think it's a field goal or anything. I think it's 1 to 2 touchdowns. But here's the thing, right, is Kentucky don't have Ray Davis.
Nope.
And he's been the vocal point of that offense. Even in the Louisville game that they won by 1 touchdown. I mean,
156 total yards.
He had like 2 or 3 touchdowns that game.
He had 3.
You know, he had 3 touchdowns that game.
Two receiving.
That makes it. You take him out of the game and Louisville beats them. Like, no doubt, Louisville beats them 100%.
I can agree with that, 100%.
But because your receivers, and you just recently fired your receivers coach, but they drop passes. And so, listen, Dabo Swinney and his staff is – Clemson isn't good this year. They just have a good coaching staff. That is what makes the difference. And so I think Clemson takes it 1 to 2 touchdowns. I mean, I still think Kentucky's able to score.
2 touchdowns is really a blowout. Let's say 1.
I think 1 to 2 touchdowns. I think Clemson. I
tried to talk him into it.
I think Clemson. I think Clemson will get them. I think Mark Stoops gets out coached this game.
Yeah.
And it's not just Mark Stoops saying that he's a bad coach. I just think that his staff. I don't like his staff.
I can sit here and agree with you, honestly.
So moving on, let's get back into basketball for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is Reed Sheppard over or underrated? Like, did we expect this?
No, listen. I did not expect this. First off.
Yeah.
I did not expect this level of play from him. But to say that he is overrated, you've not been watching college basketball. The kid leads the nation in three-point percentage. The kid is so good at defense. I feel like he's Kentucky's best defender. On-ball defender, put Reed Sheppard on the best ball handler, whoever's bringing the ball to the court, put him on him, and I can guarantee at least 5 stops. 5 hard stops, and I'm talking fast break points off those stops. He's legit. And he may even go down to be better than his dad, Jeff Sheppard, for Kentucky after, his stint with them. He's projected, that he's projected to be in the draft right now at 18th pick.
Wow.
18th pick, Reed Sheppard. I mean, the kid is legit.
Here's my thing, and I got to watch Reed Sheppard very closely throughout his high school career, especially in the state tournament. I think back, I did not expect this. No. I honestly did not expect him to get a lot of playing time, and I'll tell you why. It wasn't because he was a mountain kid. It wasn't because he wasn't good enough. It's because 2 years ago, I went to the Sweet 16 like I do every year. We go and watch the Kentucky High School State Championship. And man, oh man, to watch Pikeville shut him down.
Mr. Kean Warks.
Kean Warks, man. Yes. Shout out Kean Warks. Because Kean Warks.
You Pike Bear.
Listen, I watched that game. I was there. And Kean Warks absolutely shut him down in that game. Like, I mean, and anybody who knows Kean knows how little Kean is. Like, he's
5'6".
Yeah, something like
on
that.
On a good day.
And like that just it blows my mind to see Reed Sheppard. But then again, he was in high school, and that was a big stage. So now getting to play there every game, and it's getting more comfortable to him. Yeah. And so now you're seeing him explode into what he was in high school on a regular basis.
Yes.
Now he's doing that on a big stage at a regular basis. So I think he's underrated. I think he's going to be a sneaky. I think he can even work. If he continues this play, he can work his way into a lottery pick with the NBA draft coming up.
100%. I don't want to see him leave.
I don't think he will. I don't either. But I think his draft stock goes down if he don't.
Exactly. That's what I was
So that's something he has to go into. But it also depends on NIL deals. I can't fault him
for wanting to go into the NBA draft if he is projected lottery. I mean, why wouldn't he?
Well, and this is another thing too, and it has a lot to do with how much is he making in his NIL deals because a lot. And I don't want to get into this. I want to save this, but you look at some of these football players, and I seen a report the other day, and it's like a lot of these football guys, especially quarterbacks, who are making more on their NIL deals than they would on a rookie contract for the NFL. Like that, like what this is causing is the NFL to spend more money.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have to up their contracts, or players are going to have the power of saying, okay, I don't want to go like if I'm Caleb Williams, I'm looking at the Patriots and I'm saying I don't want to play that. I'm going to
Absolutely.
play another year.
I do not want to play another
USC,
England if I'm a
and
quarterback.
I'm going to make my money there.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that just blows my
and
mind.
you know he may actually do that this year.
Yeah, he's actually made the comment on a lot of press conferences that he may actually do that. Moving on to our last hot take before we go to break, we've got number 12 Kentucky. It's sitting at 6-2 versus North Carolina 4-3. Who do you got?
I'm gonna take Kentucky, baby. Blue Bloods. You know, I'm always gonna take Kentucky over North Carolina, Duke, or Kansas. Give me Kentucky.
I'm gonna ride with North Carolina. I think that the ACC is
With
a
their
tougher.
eighth-year
Listen,
senior
I
Armando
think,
Bacon.
I think the ACC is just a tougher conference, man. You look at
Oh,
these records,
don't start
and
this.
the ACC
Don't
is
start
more
this.
competitive in basketball.
No.
And listen, I'll let you speak. Let me speak.
No, I can't agree with this.
So listen, give me North Carolina, and especially if Roy Williams
Listen,
was still
if we're
there.
comparing
So,
conferences, SEC, ACC, let's talk a little bit about this Kentucky-Louisville championship game in rugby today. Let's talk about some rugby, y'all. We don't never talk about
Hang
this.
on,
Kentucky
hang on,
beats
hang on,
Louisville
hang
in
on,
a
hang on.
championship title game in rugby. I mean,
I
listen,
told you
that-
this before the
Kentucky
show.
owns
Okay,
Louisville.
we're going to
Kentucky
get. Listen,
owns
we
Louisville.
got viewers on right.
SEC,
We've got viewers,
ACC.
people watching right now. If you've ever sit down and watched a rugby game on TV, let me know.
Hey,
Put it in the
listen,
comments,
listen,
please.
we don't care what sport it is. Kentucky over Louisville.
That's
all
our
day,
last
baby.
hot
L's down.
take.
Let's
Listen,
go, baby.
I can't
L's
take
down.
any more of this. I can't take any
Yeah,
more of
because
this.
you
This is
can't
our
take
last
Kentucky
hot
winning
take.
against
Let me
Louisville.
finish. I can't even go to commercial because of you. Jeez.
Lord.
Listen, I'm done with hot takes. We're moving on. When we come back, we have Sammy's top 10 girls team, top 10 boys team. You're not going to want to miss this. We'll be back in just a second.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be, for generations to come.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier. This is one of my favorite segments of the
Love this
show,
segment.
Sammy's Top 10 Teams. We're going to start off with Sammy's Top 10 Girls. Sam, go ahead and dive into your top 10 for this
Absolutely.
week.
At number 10, I got Prestonsburg. You know, they dropped down one. I had them at 9 last week. But, you know, they're 3-1 on the season. They beat PCC and they beat Buckhorn this week. They lose to Floyd Central, you know. And Floyd Central, you know, they're just now getting started. So I don't have them in this week. But, you know, Prestonsburg at my number 10 spot. At number 9, I got Perry Central. You know, this team drops down 3 spots this week. They're 2-2 on the season. They lose both their games this week against Corbin and Knott County Central, you know. I think this is still a really good team. So look to see them move back up from the 9 spot. At number 8, I got Paintsville. You know, they're new this week. They're in my top 10 this week. This is the first week that they're in. They beat Floyd Central and Betsy Lane this week, and they're 2-0 they're 3-0 on the season actually. I think this team is going to stay in here for a little while. They're playing really good basketball. At number 7, I've got Knott County Central. You know, they're 3-2 on the season, and they dropped the most this week in my top 10. You know, I had them sitting at my number 3 spot, and they're at number 7 this week. They beat Wolf and PCC, but they lose to Jackson County. You know, and this Jackson County team, I don't think that they should have lost that game. So give me Knott County Central at number 7. At number 6, I've got Martin County. Martin County's 5-1 on the season. They go up a spot. They was at my 7 spot last week. I got them in my 6th spot. Give me Phelps at number 5. You know, the Phelps Lady Hornets. They're 5-1 on the season now. You know, and they lose a really tough matchup against Pike County Central last night, and I didn't expect it to be that big of a blowout, you know, considering how good that Phelps played this year so far. I've got them at my 5 spot. It might change next week. Nobody knows, but right now they're at my 5 spot for the way that they've been playing so far this year, and I think they're going to continue to play the way that they've been playing and play hard, especially with such a young team. At number 4, I've got Hazard. Hazard stays at number 4 this week. You know, they're 4-1 on the season. They beat Buckhorn and Clay County this week. This is a good team, y'all. I didn't expect them to be as good as they are, you know, this far into the season already because, you know, they lost their best player last year, you know, and now they're just picking up where they was at last year, you know. So I really like this Hazard team. They're at my 4th spot. At number 3, I've got Lawrence County. They bump up 2 spots this week in my top 10. You know, they're 4-1. They beat Morgan County, and they beat Betsy Lane. Betsy Lane's got a good little squad, you know. And give me Lawrence County at my number 3 spot. At number 2, I've got Johnson Central. They're 5-0 on the year so far. They beat Menifee County, and they beat a Fairview team 63-6. I mean, for them to not even put up double digits on the board, that is phenomenal, you know. That just shows how good of defense this Johnson Central team has and how explosive they can be getting up and down the court. So I got them still at my number 2 because at number 1, I got the Pikeville Panthers. I mean, they're 3-0 on the season so far, and they beat an Eastridge team this week 94-9. To put up 94 points in a high school girls basketball game, wow! I mean that is just crazy. Let us know your all's thoughts on that game too in the comments. That's just 94-9. That's a lot of points compared to what the other team had. You know, that's a tough loss. For Eastridge.
You know, for me, and I'm going to go ahead and critique this, but I'm going to ping off what you said there at the end. 94-9, man. Listen, that's impressive. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. But it's, to me as a coach, I couldn't do it. I could not see it, and I could not see it and beat a team 94-9. I'm sorry. I mean, you have to try to get there. I mean, I don't think any team is that, like, you can slow the ball down. You can if you're playing a team that's truly that bad, then don't run the score up on them. Like I would. I've been on both sides of it, and I wouldn't. I just personally, as a coach, wouldn't do it and don't stand for it that way. Right. But just nothing against, you know, the Lady Panthers and that team and the students on that team. It's a really, really good team. You know, that's a really good team. I just think that's a little harsh. Looking at your top 10, you know, I like Pikeville at 1, and I could sit and argue Pikeville and Johnson Central, but we're really never going to know who the better team is until they play, and what's crazy is they don't. They don't play, and they won't play unless they meet each other in the region tournament. So that'll be really the telltale sign of the 1 and 2. Yep. Lawrence, I like them at 3. Hazard, I like them at 4. I think Hazard's won some good, close games. They've not really been, you know, the one game they lost was close, and I think 3 out of the 4 games they won was really close. So always good to win close games. I got to see it. Listen, before I say what I'm about to say, Coach McCoy, Justin McCoy, I love you, and I think that you're going to eventually. I think you're going to get Pike Central when you play them at home. I think that you have a potential to be in that district championship game playing on this season. But for me personally, if I had a top 10, I could not put any team in my top 5 of that top 10 that had been blown out.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. It don't matter who it was. If a top 5 team can't carry a blowout, I'm not saying they should be out of your top 10 because they're really good.
Yeah.
They've got Weddington, they've got Kaylee McCoy, they've got a really good coaching staff and coach and Justin McCoy, but that one blowout would creep them back into a 7 or 8 spot for me where they have been in the past. But I do, they have been playing well, so I get where you're coming from as far as putting them in your top 5, but me personally, if it was my top 10, I wouldn't put them there. Looking at Martin County's 5-1. That's probably a team that you could put up in Phelps' spot to move Phelps at least back to 6. But they're at 6. I like them there, that 5-6 range. Knott County took two big losses. It's hard to stay in the top 10 with all these good teams with 2 losses, and you have 2 teams in your top 10 that have 2 losses. So I like them there. Paintsville's a new team coming in at 8, and they actually had a coaching change, so we'll see. For them to be able to win after their coach, for 2 days after their coach resigned, pick up a win, that's phenomenal. So that's very deserving in where they're at. And then you also have Perry Central at 9, Prestonsburg at 10. Me personally, I would flip-flop Prestonsburg and Perry just because Prestonsburg has won more games. And you've seen the one thing that hurts Prestonsburg is that district matchup they had last week, right?
Yeah,
they lost to Floyd Central, a team that isn't even in your top 10. Same as Phelps.
Yeah.
They got blown out by a team that's not even in your top 10.
Exactly. And Pike Central, I can do an honorable mention with them. They could possibly break my top 10 next week,
They probably should. They just beat the number 5 team that's in your top 5. What do you mean, might? They should.
Listen,
but then again, that's Sammy's top 10, not Ethan's top 10. So we'll see. We'll see. I like it. 1 through 10, I like it. Listen, guys, when we come back, we're going to have Sammy's top 10 boys teams. You're not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a second.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier. And listen, guys, this is one of our favorite segments, Sammy's Top 10. You got the girls already. Next up, we've got the top 10 boys teams. Coach, go ahead and take it away with the boys.
All right, listen, at number 10, we just had Coach Cameron Smith on here in the Phelps Hornets. Give me Phelps. They're coming in. They're new in my top 10. I've got Phelps at number 10. They're 3-1 on the season. I mean, this is a great group of young players, They're very deserving of this number 10 spot. At number 9, I've got Letcher Central. They're 3-2 on the season, and they beat a very, very impressive Knott County Central team this week, 53-50 in the WYMT Classic. They beat that team, but they lose to Magoffin and Harlan County this week. So for them to take 2 losses with 1 win, they had to drop back some. You know, they had to. They're at my number 9. Number 8, I've got Perry Central. They're 3-0 on the season. They beat Harlan Independent this week. They done a good job, and they're deserving of this number 8 spot. At number 7, coached by Chase Parsley. We just mentioned him earlier in our interviews too. Give me Prestonsburg. They're doing an amazing job right now. I think that this team, they play so hard in the 15th region, and we was talking about the super region earlier too. You never know what can happen this year, man. There's 4 or 5 different teams that we don't know who's really going to come out on top. Number 6, give me Floyd Central. They're 3-0, 3-1 actually. Did they have a loss on Saturday?
Who?
Floyd Central.
Yeah, the 3-1. They lost on Saturday.
Okay, well, I didn't get to check that game, so that's on my behalf. But they beat Paintsville and Clay County this week. And, this is just a really good ball team, talking about, again, the 15th. I mean, really good basketball teams in the 15th region. At number 5, they dropped down from my number 1 spot, Knott County Central. They're 4-2 on the season now. This is a very, very good team, y'all. I don't want y'all to think that they're going to be down here for long, because I know that they're going to be back up in my top 3 before we know it. But they lose to Martin County, a very good Martin County team. And as I mentioned earlier, they lost to LCC, which is a game that I feel like they should have won. But for them to lose to LCC and Martin, they've got to drop down off of my 1 spot. And out of my top 3, I've got Knott County Central at number 5. At number 4, I've got the Martin County team at number 4. They're 2-2 on the season. They beat Knott Central though. That's a big win. Again, just like I said about LCC, that's why LCC is still in my top 10. They would have been out of it this week had they not won. But that's a tough team to beat. So I've got Martin County at my number 4 spot. At number 3, I got Breathitt County. Breathitt County is just, for them to have a new head coach this season, I feel like he's really brought the most out of them so far. Getting to watch their games and getting to see how they've been playing. They're really just getting after it this year. They're 2-0 on the season. Really good team. Really good team, and they could probably maintain a top 3 spot the way that they're playing right now. So I got Breathitt at my number 3 spot. At number 2, I got Pike Central. Pike Central was at number 2 last week. This is a good team, you guys. This is a really, really good team, and I'm gonna keep them at my number 2 spot this week. And at number 1, I got the Hazard Bulldogs. Yeah, man, the Hazard Bulldogs are coming in hot this year. 6-0 to start out the season. Coach Al Holland, he's doing a really, really good job with this team. Just amazing. Amazing gameplay so far out of Hazard. I mean, they are so tough and physical and fast. I mean, this is just a really good basketball team. And the 14th region is also up for grabs this year. You got Knott County, you got Hazard, you got Perry. I mean, this is something else, you guys. Hazard is on another level right now, and I look forward to them keeping this main spot as long as they keep winning.
Well, this is where my part comes in, is to critique you. And I'm listening, man. I was able to critique a little bit on the girls' side, but the boys' side I really like. I mean, looking at your list, I mean, Hazard and Breathitt, I could probably flip. If I really wanted to argue it, just because Hazard is coming in with 6-0, but they've not had that many competitive games. They've beat some. Probably 4 of their 6 wins has been blowout. They've blowed the other team out. So and that's not taking anything from Hazard. I would just like to see more more closer games that you win. But they've definitely been dominant, and they're well deserving of the top 3. And same for Breathitt. I thought Breathitt. They beat some big dogs. They knocked off Martin at the start of the year at Hazard. Crazy. In the DJ Begley Classic, they knocked them off, so they looked really good.
A very big Martin team at that,
most definitely,
to that Breathitt County team.
And a very well coached Martin County team. Jason James does a good job, just like Coach Jeff Honeycutt at Breathitt County. Then also I look at it, another team that's not in here that I think you're going to see make their way in here is Shelby Valley.
Yeah.
Shelby Valley sits at 3-1. I know they took the loss to Prestonsburg at the start of the year, but since then, they've turned it around, man. They beat Betsy last week. They beat Betsy Lane at Betsy Lane, Painesville at home.
Yep.
Saturday, just yesterday, they beat Johnson Central at Johnson Central by 3, and all of them were close games.
Absolutely.
And so if I could take a team that's not in here and put them in, I would squeeze Valley in, not in your top 5 or up on your list, but I would squeeze them in because that's a team that I think that's going to claw their way to the top of this list throughout the season. I mean, they've got under first-year head coach Tyler McCoy. I think Coach McCoy's doing a great job with them. So I mean, all in all, I like this list. I could sit and critique it any way you put it. I think just because I know a lot about high school sports and I get to watch a lot of the games here on D&D. So, and I think throughout the season, I think Jenkins may be a team that you see
really
slide in here.
I really
listen,
like what I'm seeing.
Coach Lee Coach Lee and his staff with a couple of these players. Once they've struggled with a couple games, Belfry and Phelps, they struggled a little bit with those games. But when they figure it out, man, this is a team. This is a sneaky team in the 14th that you'll see climb their way up through the top of this list. I think at some point in time throughout this season. But
and I'll tell you another sneaky team that's in the 15th is Magoffin County.
Magoffin County is another team.
Magoffin County is a team that you may be seeing in this top 10 sometime this season. So look out for them too.
Most definitely. Well, guys, listen, that's Sammy's top 10 boys teams, top 10 girls teams. Will they change next week? We don't know. We won't know until Sammy releases them next week right here on our special Christmas edition show next week. So you'll make sure you want to tune in for that. Up next, we've got the Pick 'em segment where we pick the top 10 girls games, top 10 boys games, and release our records. So you guys are not going to want to miss that. We'll be back with you in just a second.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Burgee, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. We've got our Pick 'em segment here. You guys are not going to want to miss this. We've got games coming up, and here's our record, guys. Here's what's so funny about this segment is in football, Sam blew me out. But now that we've got the basketball, just like I've told everybody, I'm going to win basketball just because I know a little bit more than
that like that. But you are in the lead. I'll give you that.
We're in the lead. Before we start picking them, I'm going to read off our records. Unfortunately, Big E cannot be here with us, but he has sent in his picks, and just so he don't get behind and take a chance on losing like Sam did when he picked Letcher over Harlan last week.
I'll never live that down.
We've got me, myself, and I is at 23-15. Coach Sammy is at 17-21 on his picks, and Big E is at 19-19. So I'm 4 games ahead of Big E and 6 games ahead of
It's all right. It'll
Sam
change
over
after
here.
this week, I feel like.
So, but let's dive on into this, Coach. Man, we've got girls basketball first up. We've got Belfry at Betsy Lane. Who do you got?
I'm going to take Betsy Lane in this one. Belfry is 0-4 on the season so far, so they're really struggling. I feel like this Betsy Lane team, they still got a little bit more experience. I think they take this game.
Most definitely, man. Big E took Betsy Lane as well. I'm going to take Betsy Lane. I know what kind of coach they got. I know what kind of coaching staff. Listen, Coach Corey Thacker is going to have those girls ready for this 15th region matchup, and he's going to listen. The energy is going to be high, and he's going to pick up the win.
Absolutely.
Moving on, girls, we've got Knott Central at Letcher Central. Who you got?
Listen, this is going to be a good game, y'all, for not to have to come on the road and play Letcher in their home gym. I think the atmosphere at LCC is going to be phenomenal with their student section and the fans and everything, but give me Knott County Central in this game. I think that this is a good team coached by Megan Huff, and I think that this team's going to come out and, come up on top.
Most definitely. Give me Big E took Knott, which is a shocker to me
Wow,
because
he
he's not.
didn't use the Cougs.
This is the first week Big E ain't picked the Cougs.
He's in it to win it.
He's in it to win it this week. He's seen these records. So give me Knott County too. I think Coach Megan Huff gets things going, gets things rolling, and I think she picks up a win.
Yep.
In a close game though.
Yeah.
Moving on, we've got Breathitt County at Prestonsburg, a little 14th versus 15th.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Give me Prestonsburg.
Yeah, Big E actually took Breathitt. He took
wow.
the 14th region. Give me Prestonsburg as well. Moving on, we've got a district matchup, Cordia right here in J-Town. Who you got?
Listen, I think Coach Paul Whitaker was telling us a little bit the other day about how he's planning on making some changes with this team and taking them to the next step. Losing to Phelps was kind of a heartbreaker to him and kind of also a slap in the face on where he needs to be at. Give me Jenkins over Cordia. I think that they're going to turn things around this season. I think that they're going to get a win against this Cordia team.
Big E took Jenkins, and I'm taking Jenkins as well. I
Yep.
think you're right. I think Coach Whitaker's going to have the girls mentally prepared.
Yep.
I think they're going to come in here at home and take care of business in front of their home crowd.
For sure.
Moving on, we've got Knott County again, but this time they're playing at Shelby Valley. Who you got?
Listen, so I mentioned the environment that it's going to be at LCC. It's going to be 10 times that at Shelby Valley. It always is, especially when they're at home. I think this is going to be a tough game for Knott County to come out with the win going on the road. Give me Shelby Valley at home, but if they was going to Knott, I think Knott would come out with the win. But give me Shelby Valley.
Okay. Evan, Big E actually took Knott, and I'm taking Knott as well. I think Knott is, they've lost 2 games last week. I think that this week they're coming out hungry, chip on their shoulder, and I think they're going to get 2 games on the road wins here.
I like that.
Moving on, we've got Phelps at McGoffin. Girls, who you got?
Listen, I'm going to take Phelps. They take that bad loss last night against Pike Central. And, this team, like I said, this team is doing really, really good with the young group of girls that they have. I think that they're going to go in, like you said, and have a chip on their shoulder, I think that they're going to come out on top with this one on the road.
Big E actually took Phelps too. I'm going to take Coach McCoy. I'm riding with the coach here. I think Coach McCoy is going to get things done. He's going to have his girls prepared, and if anybody has a chip on his shoulder, it's him. I was actually texting with him the night directly after that Pike Central game, and he was ready to get back to work, and so that tells me that he's ready to pick up some wins this week. Give me Phelps as well. Next, we've got North Laurel at Pikeville. Who you got?
Listen, that's a big-time team coming over to Pikeville, the school in general. North Laurel is 4-1 on the season. Pikeville is, 5-0, right?
Yeah, 3-0.
3-0. Man, I think this right here is going to be the challenge that Pikeville needs to really see if they are my number 1 team for this season. They are my number 1 team right now, but I think this right here, the outcome of this game will show me who it is between them and Johnson Central. You said they can't play, but I think this game is going to show me who it is going into next week. Give me Pikeville. I think this is going to be a big time matchup, and if they can do remotely half of what they did against Eastridge, against this North Laurel team, I really think that they can come out on top of this win.
Yeah, Big E took Pikeville. I'm taking Pikeville as well. I don't think it's as big of a matchup as what you're making it out to be. I think North Laurel's boys have been really good
Absolutely.
for a while because of Reed Shepherd, but I've not really heard much about the girls, so I don't know if it's a big matchup or not to speak on it.
Well,
so,
they beat Martin County and they beat Bell County this year.
Who?
North Laurel has.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, this is big time matchups. I think.
Moving on,
that's going to be something else.
Most definitely. Moving on, we've got two coaches that we're very fond of, Coach Corey Thacker and the Betsy Lane Bobcats, going to Floyd Central and Coach Tyler Little.
Absolutely.
Who you got?
Again, I think this is going to be a good matchup. Let me take this Floyd Central team. They're at home. I think this Betsy Lane team is good, but I think that they're gonna go over on the road and possibly not come out with the win.
Man, I've got to take Betsy Lane. I'm riding with Coach Thacker this week. I think Coach Thacker gets it done. I think it's a close, competitive game. It's a road that's going to be a tough environment to play in. Floyd Central always has fans comes out to their games, and they pack the arena. So I think it's going to be a tough environment, but Coach Thacker is going to get it done in the end. And Big E took Betsy Lane as well. So moving on, we've got two more girls' games. Bell County at Letcher County. Who you got?
Let me get Bell County.
Yep. Big E took Letcher. I'm with you, Coach. I'm taking Bell. Last one, Paintsville at Martin County. Who you got? District matchup.
This is going to be a good one. Listen, I think this is going to be a really good game. Again, like I said, I'm going to have to go with this Martin County team. Paintsville, they came in to my top 10 this week, but Martin County's ahead of them. I feel like it would just be wrong for me to say that they wouldn't win this game. So give me Martin County.
Okay. Big East taking Martin. You know what?
Take them, Coach.
Give me Paintsville.
Take them.
Give me the Tigers on the road. Give me the Tigers on the road, man. I've got to take them. And listen, guys, right there, that's our pick-ems for girls basketball. We're going to take a really short break. And when we come back, we're going to have pick-ems for your top 10 boys teams right here on Coach's Corner next. You're going to want to stay tuned for this. We'll be back in just a second.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. I told you we wouldn't be gone long. That was probably the shortest commercial break that we've had all show.
Hey,
probably
like
all year. We love the short commercial breaks.
We love being on camera for you guys.
Sadly, he wouldn't give me enough time to go use the restroom. I've been about to die this whole show. And so Dusty's like, I've got to use the restroom too. So if you got to suffer, I've got to suffer. So we're suffering together. Coach Sam's just rubbing it in our face. Okay, moving on. We've got boys basketball pick'em segment. Guys, let's just dive on into this, Coach.
Absolutely.
We've got Prestonsburg, Chase Parsley and Prestonsburg at Johnson Central, who just lost in a close game to Shelby Valley. Who you got?
Listen, Johnson Central's 0-2 on the season. I think that they're really coming into this week like, we've got to win this game. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they're going to beat this Prestonsburg team. This Prestonsburg team is just playing phenomenal right now. And I'm going to take Prestonsburg over Johnson Central.
You know, Big E took Big E took Johnson. Big E took Johnson, but guess what? I'm taking Chase Parsley and the Prestonsburg Black Cats as well. I think they're playing with energy. Estridge is playing lights out defense, doing all the little things, while Keithley's doing the scoring and taking care of the offense. Listen, guys, it's a dynamic duo up there in Prestonsburg, so you're not going to want – if you get a chance to watch them, watch them. Give me Prestonsburg as well. Moving on, we've got another Prestonsburg game, which is early in the week as well. Prestonsburg at Phelps. We just had some Hornets on the show.
Absolutely.
We talked about how big of a game it's going to be for Phelps and how this is probably one of the most competitive probably one of the better teams they've played so far. So who do you got?
Listen, they've got a really good big man in Tyler Weddington. Again, you know, I don't know if Prestonsburg really has somebody that can contain him down low.
They have a big. I can't remember his name. If anybody's watching who knows the name of the big man for Prestonsburg, let me know. And he's actually not bad, but he's nowhere near as good as Tyler Weddington.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So,
I just think
but
that
they do have a body to throw at.
Yes,
Tyler,
yes.
you know.
Again, you know, I think this is going to go with more like of an experience level. The way that Prestonsburg is playing, Phelps is, you know, a young core right now. They're still learning a few things. Maybe later on in the year, I would choose Phelps against them, but right now I'm gonna have to ride again with this Prestonsburg team. They're playing really, really, really hard, and I've got to commemorate them. You know, I've got to give it to them.
Well, he finally used a big word.
Yeah, you probably don't even have that in your vocabulary. I can hear it.
No. So he's taking Phelps. Big E you took Prestonsburg.
Yeah.
Big E's taking Prestonsburg. You know what? Give me Coach Smith. Give me the Phelps Hornets in an upset at Peaburg.
Okay.
Not at
Oh, it's
Peaburg,
at
at
home.
Phelps.
It's home.
With that atmosphere that he was talking about and the whole community coming out.
Yeah.
Listen, they're playing strong basketball right now. And I think that Prestonsburg, if they pick up a win against Johnson Central like I think they will, they'll be on a high and they'll come in overlooking Phelps. And everybody knows when you overlook a team that can compete, bad things happen. I tell my boys all the time, I'm like, do not go out there overlooking this team because if you let them stay in it, they'll beat you. Yep. So give me Phelps. Moving on, we've got Floyd Central, who just like literally ran a good game with Martin County.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Shelby Valley. Who you got?
Listen, I'm gonna have to take this Floyd Central team over Valley. You know, Valley's been playing good after that first loss in the season, but this Floyd Central team isn't no joke. You know, they're 3-1 on the season, same as Valley is, and you know I think this is gonna be a very good game. But give me Floyd Central coming out on top of this one.
Big E took Shelby Valley, and I think I'm with him. I'm going to take Coach McCoy. Listen, I picked him on both games last week.
Yep.
He didn't let me down. I don't think he's going to let me down this week. It's at Shelby Valley. It's all the Wildcat fans are going to be out.
Yeah, that
and
atmosphere
listen, if you've ever been to a rivalry game, there's 2 rivalry games you have to go to.
Oh yes, I can't.
Pikeville and Shelby Valley is
Yes.
one. And in middle school, Dorton and Shelby Valley. Because I'm telling you right now, when they're playing, man, that gym is slam packed. Like it is packed out. That environment is great. Yeah. So I'm going with Shelby Valley. Big E's going with Shelby Valley. Coach McCoy, don't let us down this week. Moving on, Ashland at Pikeville. Who do you got?
Listen, I'm gonna have to take this Ashland team, man. They've played really, really good, and to keep it within 10 points with a very good Harlan County team and Trent Noah, I'm going to have to take this Ashland County. I'm going to have to take this Ashland Blazer. I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah, Big E took Ashland as well. You know what? Give me the Panthers in an upset at home. Give me the Panthers in an upset at home. I think the Panthers win. I think it's a close game. We have a comment right here. Tanya Johnson, Connor Napier is Preston's big brother.
Okay, Connor Napier.
And we will remember that name. And I watched him play in that Letcher Central game, and he did PD still went and got his, but he did a really good job defending him until he fouled out in the fourth quarter. So, I always like that. Moving on, here's a big district game.
Yes.
Not Central, Coach Casey Huff. At Letcher Central, Coach Matthew Taylor. They just played last week in the YMT.
I know.
Letcher got them by 3. Do you think the same thing happens this week?
I do not think that the same thing happens this week. I think Knott County comes in more prepared, not necessarily overlooking this LCC team this week. They know that they took a tough loss to them last week. They're going to have a game plan, and they're going to exceed well through that game plan. Give me Knott County with at least 10 points or more against LCC.
Big E takes the Cougs. Who could have thought that he's taking the Cougs and Coach Taylor? I'm with Coach Sam. I think Coach Huff comes in with a game plan.
Yep.
It was so close of a game that I don't think it's 10-plus points. I think that any rivalry game, any district game, when you got 2 competitive teams, they're coming after each other.
Yeah.
So give me not under 10.
Okay.
Give me not under a 10-point game. So I'm taking not. Moving on, we'll go through these very quickly. We've got Cordia at Jenkins. Who do you got? Another district
Give me the
matchup?
Jenkins Cavaliers.
Yep, and Big E took Jenkins as well. I'm taking Jenkins. I told you earlier, in your top 10, Jenkins is a sneaky team in the 14th. I think a lot of people's overlooking. Coach Lee knows that, and he's going to figure out ways to win games, so give me Jenkins as well, too. Next, we've got another Letcher game, Letcher Central at Hazard. Who you got?
Listen, I'm going to have to take Hazard the way that they've been playing. Give me Hazard.
You know, Big E took Letcher.
Wow. What a pig. He's riding
Give
with
me
his
the
goose.
upset. I'm with him. Give me Letcher. I think
Okay.
Letcher upsets him on the road. Give me
All right.
Letcher. You know, I mean, I think. Look, we talked about it. Hazard ain't played many close games. I think this is a close game. I'm gonna ride with my pick. Give me Letcher. Moving on, we've got GRC at Pike Central. Who you got?
Give me Pike Central. They're going to up that. They're going to up that win column this week against that team. I think Pike Central's going to take this one.
Man, oh man, I don't know. GRC's played in the state championship game the past couple of years. Give me GRC. You know, Josh Cook does good things up there at GRC, and Big E's taking GRC as well. Moving on, we've got Lyon County at Floyd County. Who you got?
Give me Lyon County.
Travis Perry coming to the 15th region to
Yeah.
play a game, and guess what? This is another mix-up like you had. Big E took Floyd Central in an upset. You heard it. You heard it right here,
y'all.
Big E, and if Big
I don't
E's
want y'all
watching,
to
he
come
can
at me
comment.
over Harlan and LCC because I know it's not going
Big
to be
E
as
took
bad as this
Floyd
one.
over Lyon, so give me Lyon too. Don't ask me why my
We're
brother
talking
did
about
that
a team
because
that
we
has
don't
to
know.
go out of state to get games.
Yeah.
Has to go out of state. Man,
Most
I don't
definitely.
know. I don't know about that one, Big E.
Last but not least, we've got a dear friend of mine, Coach Wes Smith, who coaches at Madisonville North Hopkins up in Louisville, is coming to play Perry Central in their Big Lou Classic. It's at Perry.
Wow.
And so we've got Coach Hoskins versus Coach Smith.
Coming back to
Who
the
you got?
mountains. Man, I like Coach Wes Smith, too. I think that they're going to come in and they're going to give Perry County their first loss on the season.
Yep. Big E took Perry. I'm going to take Madisonville North Hopkins, too. I think
Absolutely.
Wes is here to make a statement.
Yeah, he's
Guys,
coming back to the mountains to show everybody why he left.
most definitely. Guys, we appreciate you being here. Listen, you're not going to want to miss next week. We have our Christmas edition Coach's Corner. Who knows what's going to happen? We're going to have different games. It's going to be a little bit different show than normal. I'm going to set up everything, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll. Next week, our coach, we have Coach Brian Howard with the Whitesburg Yellow Jackets, along with Mason Boggs and
Yes.
Dylan Eldridge, who's going to be here in the building. So you're not going to want to miss that. And I think that's it. We're ready to rock and roll. December 17th, Christmas edition. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, producer in the background, Dusty Fleming. We'll see you next week.